the Ask Dr. Art Show. We have our Instagram live stream going. We have our Facebook and YouTube live streams. So somebody take a moment and let's chat. I am going to give a little bit of announcements first, just because I don't know if we're actually live yet. But a couple quick announcements. Announcement number one: are we actually live? We'll find out.
We are on Facebook.
Yeah, so we're good. It'll be there. So, real quick, guys. Every single Tuesday around 9:30, based upon tech. Okay, we had a couple tech issues. We'll be here and we'll be live streaming and we'll be asking or answering your questions.
I don't hear the sound on.
Someone's saying no sound on.
No, I'm telling you.
On which one?
On Facebook.
There's no sound whatsoever.
Oh, never mind that.
Okay, so here's the thing. Every Tuesday we're gonna do live Q&A. I come with topics, but last time you guys did really good and we were just flinging questions. Okay, we have 30 minutes and I'm just gonna leave these cameras facing this way so we can see what you guys are talking about, saying, etc. Okay, so like I love that.
Videos restricted on YouTube.
Okay, well, we'll find out. So for some reason it's restricting YouTube, but we're on Instagram and we're on Facebook, right? So this is what I mean. Like, we don't exactly know whatever is going to happen every day we do this. So YouTube is saying no. And it's probably just because I've been quite controversial on YouTube lately, so we might be restricted from our streaming. But it is what it is. Okay, so do you have a question for me today? Is there a health struggle that you have? Is there something that you're needing some assistance with? Now, Leona's sitting here. She'll read the comments to me. But a couple quick announcements. This Saturday, which is the 22nd, I'm doing a very unique, very special live stream broadcast. Okay, number one, it's going to be about energy, brain fog, and we're going to try to solve this energy crisis that everybody has. So, you know, like today, everybody's like downing caffeine like crazy, drinking energy drinks, getting B vitamin shots. We just lost something. Was that? Okay. So one of our cameras just turned off. But anyway, we are like in an energy crisis today. And I'm not talking like Duke Power and Piedmont and, you know, Energy United and we should switch to solar. I'm talking about the human body. Most of you, your batteries are dying. So my topic, until someone's brave enough to ask a question, is did you know that you can get the batteries of your body tested? Just like a voltmeter, like if I had a 9 volt and I just touch a voltmeter to it, it should tell me that 9 volts are coming out. Well, there is a way to measure your battery. And it's a blood test. And what we do is we look for electrolytes and we look for something called an anion gap. I know it's a tough thing. It's a calculation. Basically, an anion gap is how much of a spread difference is there between all of your electrolytes. Like if your sodium is low and your chloride is low and your potassium is high and your magnesium is low and your phosphorus is low and your bicarbonate soda is low, man, that anion gap is going to be enormous. 17, 18, 19, 20. So we have a way today to physically test the battery of your body. And the crazy thing is, most of you, your battery is dying or it's dead. And that's why you're so tired. And see, if you run off to grab an energy drink, it doesn't have what your body actually needs. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about this briefly. Do we have no comments? No questions? Come on, guys. Like, I know you can do it. If you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on Instagram, because YouTube's down. Oh, YouTube is up?
Just took a moment.
Ah, okay. So like, ask your questions. And we know what happens, right? It's gonna take 10 minutes for you to even realize we're here. I'm 10 minutes into my topic and then they're gonna come. So I get that. But ready? Does drinking a Celsius drink actually give you a battery recharge? No. What about all the new drinks, right? Like, so The Rock, right? He has one, I think it's called, it starts with an A. Alaya, Aloha, la la la. So like all these energy drinks have herbs, vitamins, and sometimes they have caffeine and they have other things that will stimulate your energy. But they're not addressing the dead battery. It's kind of like this. Can you imagine going out to your car and you're like, oh my God, the battery's dead. Let me go to the gas station, buy some Celsius and pour it all over the battery. It's not gonna do anything because it doesn't fix the issue.
Okay, we got a question from Renee. Are colon
Renee.
cleanses safe, effective, or even necessary?
Yeah, good question. So, Renee, it really depends on what you mean by the word colon cleanse. Okay, I like cleansing colons. Okay, but there's a difference between cleansing a colon and detoxing a colon. So, common colon cleansers are going to be fibrous based supplements. There's two types of fibers, there's soluble and insoluble. It sounds just like it does. Soluble fiber, if I stirred into this glass of water here, you would look at the water and it would still be clear. So soluble fibers dissolve into water. Insoluble fiber, that's the stuff you guys hate, right? Like the clunk, and then it becomes this brownish dirt. And you drink it and you're like, oh, it tastes like sand. Well, you need both soluble and insoluble fiber to move the colon. So here's the thing, Renee, Ms. Renee. You've got to get your colon cleaned out. And you got to get the out of your colon, right? Like you need to get that stuff out. So anything that enhances your frequencies of bowels or gets that crud out is technically a colon cleanse. Can you do it with capsules of fiber? Yes. Can you give yourself an enema? Salt, water, coffee, garlic, water. Yes, you can. And enemas will flush all the waste out. So that's a colon cleanse. And they're worth doing for a fact. Okay? Any other questions? None yet. Maybe Renee will ask another one. Okay, so energy drinks. Here's the issue. Most of you guys have dead batteries. And you're like, I'm so tired. So like if I like drink this B12 energy drink, whoa, I temporarily feel a little more energized. You're like, hey, these things work. So do B vitamins give you a temporary boost in energy? Yes. But it doesn't fix the dead battery. So what makes your battery die? You are electrolytically out of balance. Most human beings don't have enough electrolytes. And you know, it's becoming very popular today to buy all these electrolytes. LMNT, which I do not endorse. They just got busted for bleaching their salts. Do not endorse LMNT. I don't. Nope. Don't even ask me if you're like, what about the cayenne flavored pepper? Nope. LMNT is off my list. I do not like LMNT anymore because they bleach their salts. Well, then you have like, Liquid IV, and you have all these like, what Celsius, my God, is making electrolytes. Did you know that? They're little tear packets now. The problem is they're not actually the electrolytes you need. So it'll have sodium, potassium, magnesium, and that's about it. So the challenge here is what you really need is to find out which is off balance. For 99% of you, you don't have enough salt in your body. I'm going to give you an analogy. Some of you might not be old enough to remember this, and some of you remember this dearly. When I was a kid and my dad's car battery was dead, we didn't run off to the car shop and buy a new battery. We just simply popped this little section off, grabbed some water and poured the water in the battery, waited a little bit, and then guess what happened? Because there used to be what was called lead acid batteries. Now lead is toxic and the acid was very corrosive, so they got rid of these batteries because they could explode, they could bubble over, it was a big problem. But just understand the concept. There were electrolytes, salt, in an acidic liquid, and the plates were made out of lead, and so the lead reacted to the electrolytes and the acid, and it created an electrolysis, and we created electricity, and we had a battery. So here, real quick. They estimate that you are roughly 70 trillion cells. I don't know how they came up with that number, but so they say. 70 trillion cells make up our body. Every single cell has a positive and a negative charge against its membrane. So if you think about it, you are basically 70 trillion little tiny, tiny microscopic batteries. If you put a positive and negative next to each other, and another one, another one, another one, another one, another one, it's no different than if you take a AA battery, because what do? You take the positive side, the one with the little bump, and you put it on the smooth side of the other one, and now you have 3 volts instead of 1.5. What if you put 70 trillion AA batteries together? It'd be one heck of a powerful battery. And what if it was a rechargeable battery? Well, now you would have like an amazing source of energy. So ready? 70 trillion little tiny hearing aid batteries all stuck together. And do you have enough salt? Do you have enough water? So how do you electrolytically make energy in the human body? Sodium, chloride, potassium, phosphorus, and magnesium, and bicarbonate soda, and water is all it takes. That would be an exceptional electrolyte. Now, if you watch the electrolytes, most of them have sodium, potassium, magnesium, and that's it. They don't have phosphorus. They certainly don't have baking soda. and they don't have salt. Well, most of them do, but it's the wrong kind of salts. So you can make your own energy drink very easily, increase your electrolytes, and guess what happens? Your energy comes back. And without looking at your labs, here's what I'm going to say that will help 90% of you. You need more salt. You literally need to put salt in a capsule and swallow it when you eat your meals. So I would take like a teaspoon of Himalayan salt, put it inside a veggie cap, and swallow that capsule when I eat my breakfast, and also salt your food. Lunch, same thing. Dinner, same thing. Why? Most people we test are very low in sodium, very low in chloride, and you need those salts to activate your energy. Okay, I'm going to pause for a second and see any questions. Anybody? Seriously? There's crickets out there. Well, how about Renee? Did she ask a second question?
No, but she said thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. You're so welcome. Oh, my God. At least I know Renee's watching. So here's the thing. We're like 15 minutes in, and it is what it is. So this Saturday, guys, I'm going to throw out a link below this. Give me time till the video finishes. I'll put in the comments. If you want to come, it's an online event this Saturday. It's at 10 a.m. in the morning. Ready for this? I'm going to teach you about all these concepts of energy. We're going to talk about thyroid. We're going to talk about your adrenal glands. We're going to talk about building the right kinds of salts and having enough electrolytes to do this. And it's free.
Renee's asking, is sea salt okay? I use the Sustain. I love the taste.
Yeah, so Renee, here's the thing. Sea salt is a good salt, but there's a difference between just salt that comes from the ocean, sea salt, and the mineral salts. So while I like sea salt, it's certainly better than white table salt. There's something better than sea salt, and it's called mineral salts. And there's two main classifications of mineral salts. Celtic, some people say Celtic because it starts with a C, but I believe the actual pronunciation is Celtic with a K, Celtic. So that's a grayish, wet kind of like salt. Most people don't like it because it sticks together and it clumps. So when you're trying to shake it out of the shaker, nothing comes out because it has this kind of like wetness to it. But it's grayish, gray-white. Love those. Then you have Himalayan salt, probably the most famous because everybody knows it's pink and it's full of different minerals. So I like non-white salts. See, sea salt is white salt. It's better, but it'd be like white table salt is so toxic you should never touch it. The next layer up is sea salt. The next layer up is mineral salts. And in that mineral salt category, there's a ton of them. There's even like black salts that come from Hawaii. There's like pink, red salts that come from other countries. All it is the color tells you the kind of minerals that are in it. So if there's a lot of iron, it's going to have a pinkish color to it. If there's a lot of like, magnesium and phosphorus, it's going to have a darker color to it. So it's really like, I prefer mineral salts. And again, we're talking about mineral salts to actually have the minerals you need in them, because we want, again, sodium, and that's in all salts, chloride in all salts. But now here we go. Magnesium is not always found in sea salt. It's going to be in Himalayan for sure, and it's going to be in the Celtics for sure. Phosphorus, yep, in magnesium and in Celtic. And then, we need manganese. Guys, there's 80 known minerals found in Himalayan salt, which is why we recommend that. But here's a caveat, unless there's another question. A lot of Himalayan salts are fake. So like real salt is going to have like verifications. It's going to say real. I like Redmond's because it's a real salt.
Debbie's asking, can stenosis of the aortic valve be fixed?
Stenosis? Yeah, so it depends on the degree and it depends on what it's doing to the aortic valve. Yes. So by medical definition, stenosis just means a hardening of that vessel. So a stenotic aortic arch is just a stiff aortic arch. Usually it stiffens because of calcium deposits. And so if it's a calcification process, find the underlying root cause, which is almost always high insulin and high homocysteine and ferritin. Remove those toxins, and over time the body will pull the calcium out of that. If it's a really bad one, it requires magnesium EDTA chelation, but yes, you can unstiffen a aortic arch and even vessels of the heart. We talked a lot about that in our heart series that we just finished. Okay, so we're shifting into energy, and then we're going to shift into sugars. So it was a great question. So, any other questions? It's only 9:48.
Debbie replied with mild.
Mild? Yeah, so Debbie, mild aortic stenosis tells me, without looking at, lab values, that there's some calcification, inflammation in the arch of the aorta. The problem is that's where like the heart, as it beats through the ventricles, it pushes all of the blood that goes into your body into the aortic arch, and it has to turn. There's vessels that come off the aortic arch that go up into your neck, and there's ones that go into your arms, and then it goes into your main aorta that goes down into your abdominal cavity. So one thing would be, do you have calcification in the abdominal aorta? So that can be seen on x-rays. It's mostly calcification. So again, it's inflammation of the vessel. And what happens when a vessel is inflamed, the body puts calcium in the vessels. So can you de-inflame the body? Yes. Can you pull the calcium out of the vessel? Yes. That's called magnesium EDTA chelation. It has to be done by physician's assistants. And then you repeat the tests that determined your aorta was, stiff in the first place.
Renee is now asking, what about ACV, apple cider vinegar? What brand?
Oh, Renee, what a great question. And here's the caveat about apple cider vinegars. So Bragg's used to be a really good brand until I think it was one of the celebrities. Not Kelly Clarkson. Who's the other? I'm trying to think of her name. Anyway, I can see her face. Oh, I think it's Katy Perry. One of them bought the Bragg's company. Let me see if I can look it up real quick. So, who bought Bragg's apple cider vinegar? I want to say it's a female. Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom. So both Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom said, we're going to buy apple cider vinegar company. How the heck they decided that, who knows? But as soon as they did that, the ingredients shifted, and the fact that it used to be organic, not so much anymore. And so there's a big controversy going around right now that because Bragg's used to be a living food product company, originally owned by a private equity group, Swander Pace Capital, Orlando Bloom and Katy Perry came along and said, we want to take it over. So the challenge is, I can't endorse Bragg's anymore just because of that. So what is the best organic apple cider vinegar?
She's funny.
She's asking about questions now.
She said, I've heard Bragg's is not good. Been using it for years. Yuck.
Well, Bragg's used to be really good. It used to be a really good company, and they had the mother inside of it, so it was all like, thick, and you could stir it around, and it used to be good. They with organic apples, they fermented it properly. So that all disappeared as soon as Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom got involved. According to everything I see right now, Fairchild organic apple cider vinegar is like crushing it, saying it's been verified, non-GMO, verified USDA organic. I'd probably go with Fairchild. My wife is in charge of buying all the apple cider vinegar we use, and honestly, my 9-year-old has a habit of peeling off all the labels on things right now. It's a boy thing, I guess. So I don't even know. We just have bottles that have apple cider vinegar in it. But apple cider vinegar is great, guys. It can, since we're talking about cardiovascular health, it can enhance blood flow through your arteries, and it helps to reduce inflammation within the arteries. How do we use apple cider vinegar properly? Okay, do not swig it straight. It's so acidic acid. It has acetic acid in it. It's so acidic it can etch the enamel of your teeth. So you're supposed to do 1-to-1 dilutions or greater. So like 2 ounces of apple cider vinegar, 2 ounces of water. Swig it, but then swish your mouth out and spit it out to get the acids out, and rinse your teeth. Or I usually just do like a tablespoon in maybe 20 ounces, and then I add salt, and then I add lemon juice, and then I add a little tiny bit of baking soda that's aluminum free, and you stir it around, and that's a really good electrolytic drink. Kind of tastes like a kombucha without any fizz. So, what a great question.
She said, thank you for confirming that's what I heard.
You're extremely welcome. Now, there's truth behind this concept that, listen, a lot of companies today are getting bought up. I think we talked about this last week, if I remember right, during Q&A, about how Thorne, which was a huge supplement company, just got bought by Procter & Gamble. And then we had mentioned that a lot of food companies that make really good, like, Siete Foods and all this other stuff, that they got bought, by Pepsi. And then recently, if you saw this, there's this investigation that all these companies were faking the kind of oils they use. And big ones like Primal and Chosen And all those big guys we used to believe were really good foods, yeah, they just secretly in disguise said avocado oil mayonnaise, but in the back they were just using canola oil. So they just said it was avocado. They even lied on the ingredient list and they put avocado oil as an ingredient. But when these companies tested it, they're like, it doesn't have the profile of avocado oil. It has a profile of vegetable seed canola oil mixes. So they just got busted recently for doing that. So even trusted food companies. I mean, you know how many times my family would be like, we're only buying Primal Kitchen and we're only buying Just Ingredients and we're only buying all these things that are like, well-known, Chosen, for example, all these really good companies. Now we just found out they've been lying to us. And Siete got busted that when Pepsi took it over, they stopped using avocado oil even though the bag says avocado oil. So like it's just tough. It's really difficult. 6 minutes, guys. I wonder if I can do this. Can I play music on while I'm recording? Let's see. I've always said I want to do this and I've never done it. So let's see what happens. Ready? There's probably gonna be a commercial.
We are one of the only social media agencies that
There's a
guarantees
commercial.
million
Give me a
views
second,
where you
guys.
don't
I'm
even
gonna
pay. But honestly, that
put
is
up
just
the
what we
actual
say for
music I
marketing.
wanted to put up. Do you have a question? Isn't it weird we know this? Like, it's actually kind of relaxing, isn't it? It's almost like, hey, you have a question? It's Q&A. Dr. A. Ask your questions right now. We should. Boom. It's pretty classic, isn't it? So, I think I might. I'm going to start playing at the beginning. I'm just going to sit here. We got 5 minutes. Aliona, do you have a question for us today?
I feel like I asked all my questions the last week.
We emptied out your entire question bank.
You did.
Like all of them. Not even a single question on
Nobody's
anything.
asking questions, so
Yeah, I have a ton of questions. How about the executive order that President Trump just signed recently saying that the vaccination schedule should be slowed down and you shouldn't give MMR all at once? Now, did you see what happened though? So the order is signed and then it's put into law, and then the state, because of the separations, right, get to decide do they implement it or not. And so guess what a lot of states are doing? Despite the executive order defined by the president and the chief whatever of the United States, we choose not to follow the executive order. There's a lot of states right now that are going, nope, we're still going to vaccinate very heavily. And what you're going to find out is a map of the states that you should live in, because you're going to see which states say, okay, we accept it and we don't. Yeah, that could have been a question.
We have a question from Ralph. Dr. Aaron, does chronic stress or overthinking affect our mineral balance? And can mineral imbalance also make it harder for the body to handle stress?
Yeah, so that's the catch-22 loop, isn't it? Yes, the answer is yes, and here's why. Chronic stress, if you don't learn how to deal with it, there's 3 types of stresses though, so we need to ask that. There's internal chemical stresses, there's external physical stresses, gravity, like you got hit by a car, you ran over your foot, you broke your leg, that's a physical stress. Chemical stresses, internal, and then the mental and emotional stresses that is a little more complicated, because what we've learned about mental and emotional is not everyone reacts to stress the same. What you find extremely stressful, I might be like, no, dude, I love that. So you're talking maybe more the chemical and physical stressors, I hope, but maybe even the mental ones, because yes, stress does impact our adrenal glands' ability to secrete stress hormones. So when you learn how to deal with stress, because you can't manage stress, that's like managing debt. You got to remove the stressors of your body. So when you get coaching in your mind from like a counselor or a health coach or a life coach, you can decrease your mental stress. When you work with a physician or a doctor, you can reverse your physical and chemical stressors. But yes, if you're stressed out, your cortisol goes up, your adrenaline goes up. And the adrenal glands secrete also something called a mineralocorticoid. It's hormones that help you keep your minerals inside of you. So when you're stressed out, your mineralocorticoids shift, and then you're excreting electrolytes a lot faster, and then that's the catch-22. Those electrolytes then stress the body out, and then da-da-da-da-da. So how do we fix this? Well, you can get coaching to deal with your mental stressors. You can get care to fix your chemical stressors. This is what we do all day long. We remove chemical stress from the human body. We remove physical stress from the human body through chiropractic care and physiotherapies and, vibration techniques and all this kind of stuff to bring the stress out of your frame. And then guess what happens? Then your cortisol goes down, your mineral corticoids return to normal, you actually absorb the things you're eating. And then we also tell people, hey, you need to get tested, have the right kind of testing done so we can figure out what kind of electrolytes you need. And then we teach people how to make their own electrolyte drinks. We're not necessarily selling packets. We do, but we don't push them very hard. We say, hey, for you need one that's got this much salt in it, a little bit of this in it, a little bit of that in it, and these are the ionic minerals you need, and go build this yourself. Right? So we teach people how to do it themselves. T-minus 1 minute, according to my clock. Technically, we should go probably 3 minutes over because we didn't start till 9:35. So, any last minute questions? Let's see if I can do it again.
Ralph says, looks like we're both curious. Oh, Renee replied to him.
Well, what does Ralph say? Ralph said what again?
Renee said, yes. Oh, that's me, Ralph. And he said, looks like we're both curious about the same thing.
Yeah, so most of you are curious about the concept of like, how do I make my electrolytes better? Do I just suck down a bunch of electrolytes if I'm stressed out? That would help. Do I get rid of my stress if I'm electrolytically deficient? That would also help. But then the next question is, what if you just did both? What if you sought care, went to a counselor or a mental coach, and worked on a physical thing, and did a detox, and did some testing, and fixed your electrolytes? That's how I would do it. Both sides at once.
Renee's asking, does lymphatic drainage do that too?
Does lymphatic drainage drain you of your electrolytes? No. So lymphatic drainage techniques are simply shifting the fluids from your lymph back into your blood, and then it's your body's job to then figure out what to do with all that excess fluid. So a lot of people that have lymph congestion, they have it because they're structurally out of alignment, they're inflamed from their diet, and they're retaining fluids. So what we do is we have these techniques to doing lymphatic detoxing. We have a lymphatic massage therapy system where instead of getting an actual massage, we wrap your entire body in this, like, to me it looks like a sleeping bag, and it has all these tubes coming out of it because it has a computer that goes squeeze, 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 and it makes your body move your lymph out of your lymph and back into your blood. And most of our patients who do this, they're like, man, I gotta go to the bathroom like crazy. So then they go to the restroom and they urinate a lot of that excess fluid out. So there's that.
Does it help de-stress?
Does lymphatic drainage help to de-stress the human body? Yes, but it also is a micro stress because you're moving fluids from one system, lymph, into another system, blood. And if you've got a lot of crap in your lymph, viruses and bacteria and parasites, well, then you shift that into your blood, and then your immune system, if it's strong enough, should take care of that. And then your kidneys will let you urinate the excess fluids. So in a short answer, does getting lymphatic therapies help to decrease stress on the human body? Yes, but no. So it's like it shifts it from one zone to another. But it does take the stress out of your lymph system. So 2 minutes, guys. Here we go. This one sounds more like one of those little kids' xylophones, right? And 1 minute. Who's going to be the one to ask it last second? Who's our last second Q&A-er? Boom. Isn't it funny? Like, we all know it. It's like it brings us back, right?
I never even watched it.
Yeah, but yet you know what it is, right? Yeah. Aliona said, I've never even watched Jeopardy, but I know what the music is.
Well,
Okay.
I watch it now as an adult. But
Well, yeah, but like when you were younger. All right, so thanks for tuning in. It's 3 after the hour. Don't forget this Saturday, I have an exceptional show for you. We're going to talk about diabetes, and what if it's not actually diabetes? So we'll see you guys this Saturday, 3 p.m.